Hello everybody, it is Thursday the 8th of December. I want to talk about what Jesus said, that man cannot serve two masters. Yeah, I want to show you what these two masters are, and that they are not actually masters but your servants. You are the master, or should be. And I also want to show you that what Jesus taught, what Jesus did, the way of the cross, the way he used the knowledge that he received, is actually creating this world. This is the kingdom. And it is the likes of Klaus Schwab and Fauci and all the others that are the rulers of that kingdom that is created through his teaching. So I just want to bring it down to earth so you see what it actually means, because it is working here. So let's start with the two masters, what he referred to as the two masters, and what that means to us, for us. Because those are two forces that are within us. The kingdom is within you. So those are two forces that are within us. And that is the restricting force and the expanding force. And again, in the book, they are called Satan and Lucifer. And that is what they are. Restricting and expanding forces. And they are not our masters. In fact, they should not be our masters. But God help us, we should be of sound judgment, and we should be the judges of this. Anyway, so the restricting force is first of all the knowledge of what is, what you think you are in, what this world is. And that is, again, a lot of it is scientific knowledge, physics, chemistry, biology. Our knowledge of this is how it is in the solid world, and it can be no other way. That is a restricting force. That, yes, it keeps us in the materialistic world. But there's another restricting force, and that is love your neighbor as yourself. And believe it or not, that is satanic. If you say Satan is the restricting force, then yes, love your neighbor as yourself is satanic. Because it restricts your actions to not only considering yourself, but the impact that it has on others. So in that way, yes, it is restricting. But, and here again, if you have as your highest principle the sanctity of life, then, you should joyfully restrict yourself, knowing that you don't do harm to your neighbor because he is you. It should not be a negative. That restriction should not be a negative. If you believe on the sanctity of life, it is not a negative thing at all. By restricting yourself, you are doing no harm to everything else. Of course, you can expand into what gives to me, gives to my neighbor, which would then be an expansion, which would be good. So it could work either way. But as I said, the restricting force is not a bad thing. And it's been given to us to keep us on the straight and narrow, so that we don't fly off. Because then the knowledge of Lucifer came, which would lead you to fly off. And that is, ask and you shall be given, seek and you shall find. In the Father there are all possibilities. You can ask for something different, which is a far out possibility. But again, it is a satanic force, it is a restricting force that should limit as to how far you use that knowledge. And that's wisdom. That is wisdom, having the two working together, giving to each other working out compromises. That is wisdom. And if you do it in that way, they will serve you, which is what they're supposed to be. And as I said, you're supposed to be of sound judgment. But, and here comes now the way, Jesus had the knowledge, the expanding knowledge that he gave to all. And then his way, and his way was to give that knowledge to the heavens. And if you see what was sitting in heaven already, in heaven there was a desire to subdue life, to rule over nature, to have dominion of this world. Yeah? And they already saw themselves justified. You know, we are the only thing here, so we're fully justified. Or the thought of, I have the knowledge, therefore I was supposed to use it. You know, and not thinking, well, just because you can doesn't mean you should. But, you know, there's no restraint there. There's no restraint. My will shall be done, and whatever is done in my name, that is in the name of I will have dominion over this whole thing, I will justify that. It's fine. And to that thought that was sitting there already, Jesus brought the knowledge of, hey folks, seek and you shall find. Anything is possible. He brought the expansion to that thought. And that is exactly where we're at the moment. Yeah, people of the desire to rule over everything and now being given the knowledge of, hey, seek and you shall find. You know, there is tons of possibilities out there that will serve your desire. And we're coming to the likes of Klaus Schwab and Fauci and whoever else is hanging in there. They're doing exactly that. That is the kingdom that will be created out of the teaching of Jesus. It's coming to earth, folks, and it is not a glory hallelujah moment. So, of course, what happened is that those that understood the meaning behind the words, the forces, they use that for themselves, and they're giving us an interpretation of that text that will subdue us. You know, you have to sit and wait for Jesus. You can do nothing. And whereas if we had the right interpretation of that text, it should serve us. It was given to serve us. It was given to all to serve all. But then we need to understand it correctly. And we must stop running scared of the boogeyman, but get the right meaning for the words and then see what that text is actually saying and what you are supposed to do. Because now, as I said, if the sanctity of life is above everything else for you, then it should serve life, yours and that of others. And you must accept the restricting force. You must. You cannot just go off on one just because I can and it's all been given to me. You can't. Those two should work in tandem to keep you on what you can receive and how far you can go, and keep you on the straight and narrow. But as I said, for them, it has really loosened everything. I mean, they never cared about their neighbor, and they don't see life as sacred. Life for them is something that can be used. This body is something that can be used. To them, it's nothing. Yeah? Let it live, let it die, whatever serves the intention. And really, with adding this new knowledge to it, they have no more boundaries. And that is not a good thing. It's been used under the wrong intention. The intention should be to give to life. And then, yes, both forces must be within you to create reason and wisdom. Anyway, I leave it at that for today, and I talk to you again soon. Bye.